is Johnny Wrestling, or Johnny Takeover, as my shirt says. And listen, I want you to listen. Like, we're involved right now. It's crazy, it's loud, it's hectic. We're in New York City, but I want you to listen to No Holds Barred Network.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the super late All-In review right here on the All Elite podcast and on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all elite wrestling podcast coverage. I'm your host, as always, self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, joined by my co-host, Tiffany. I am at Real Kyle Masters on Twitter. She's at Loves to Dream 82. And, so we decided on the Raw after WrestleMania night to just rewatch All In, and then since we kind of weren't like a thing, like a podcast at this time, and it kind of has to do with some people from, the All Elite Wrestling, we figured we'd rewatch All In tonight, which, God, I forgot how long it was. And
we thought 2 hours
yeah.
for some reason.
And
we're like,
do,
oh, shit.
yeah, and then do a surprise review for it. So it's better late than never, super late review for All In. I've done a little bit of a layout here for us. Unfortunately, this is offline. Wasn't too sure if I really want to do it online or not, so we just kind of decided with offline. We were really exhausted, okay?
Yeah.
Like, we're pooped out from Mania last night. I think it was like till 1 a.m. And like even like today, it was just, I was so emotional. You can even hear it in my voice. I'm so like exhausted, like mentally exhausted from this weekend. And Mania is just way too long. And just you add that plus like everything else that's happened this weekend, as you can see in the last episode. So, yeah.
And we wanted to watch something good after Mania, so we're like, let's watch something good. So
it was good. I totally forgot. Like, I remember watching this before, and I think I might have missed 1 or 2 matches last time I watched it. I think I was just going through the matches last time. I don't think I watched this live, but this is good rewatching it and going through, because it was actually really good. This was actually a really good pay-per-view. For basically, this was before All Elite was even announced. So this was just, the big thing here was the Young Bucks and Cody trying to sell out a pay-per-view by themselves and running a pay-per-view by themselves. And there was a bunch of skeptics behind it, with people criticizing them for, like, oh, they're not going to be able to sell out. They're a bunch of indie marks that, don't know anything about the business. And look what happened. They sold out the Sears Center in Chicago. It was a huge success from what we watched for the beginning to the end. Oof. Nothing. I mean, there's going to be some little bugs here and there, like some stuff that, they kind of screwed up on a little bit. But it's
a learning experience.
Exactly. For their first event,
it was amazing.
It was a good success. It was a huge success. And if you guys don't know, you didn't catch the last episode, I'm actually in the same room that Tiffany is. That's why the background looks the same. Usually we're not. I'm not actually from here, just visiting for WrestleMania weekend. Look, yeah, see. Or I just pulled off the most incredible magician trick ever, and I should be getting a Las Vegas show like Chris Angel, one or the other. Whatever you guys feel like believing in. But before we get anywhere, just want to remind you guys, this is on the All Elite podcast, and you can follow our social media accounts, like I said before, at Real Kyle Masters and at Loves to Dream 82. And then you can also follow the podcast on Twitter at All Elite Pod. Follow us on Instagram at All Elite Pod and Facebook All Elite Podcast. So make sure you are following us on all of those platforms, and make sure you are subscribing to us on YouTube. I see a lot of subs the last couple of days, guys. Thank you very much. Trying to get to 1,000 to change that URL to something better than I have it right now. But right now it is youtube.com/NHBWR, and I'm saying that like that because if you're listening to us on the go, you're going to want to help us out and go over to that YouTube page. But yes, if you're watching us on YouTube, we are available on the go. Take us wherever you want. Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Radio, and Spreakers, where you can find us. All the links are down in the description below for you guys. Also, we have an official store. Could be changing soon, so you're going to want to keep up with the Twitter accounts and the show. teesprings.com/all-elite-podcast-store. Me and Tiffany are rocking the All Elite Podcast shirts right now on the show. But we are in talks with another t-shirt company and soon to be maybe partnered. You guys are going to want to keep your ears open for this. So in the meantime, check them out. They are KayFabe Tees, KayFabeTees.com. The link now is working. I apologize for the previous episodes. I had the wrong link in there. But it's the real link now. Go down there and check it out. Click the link and get yourself some sweet-looking KayFabe tees. They have a huge sale on right now for $12.99 per t-shirt. A lot of cool-looking shirts there. They even got their new t-shirt, the Full Beer Challenge, along with actual Full Gear Challenge t-shirts. You got the Mark, and we got Jimmy there supporting that shirt, and you got Jimmy and the merch sheep and their generic logo. Really cool website, guys, and Jimmy has told us that these shirts are very, very comfortable. So you're gonna want to go check out KayFabeTees.com, and here's a special word from their executive vice president. Thank you very much, Executive Vice President of KayFabe Tees, with the map.
I'm never going to get over that. I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh every time.
You guys, please go check out ProWrestlingTees.com. They're your official source for the All Elite Wrestling merchandise. They have all your All Elite Wrestlers t-shirts on there. They also have All Elite Wrestling generic items. You got the Michael Nakazawa t-shirt, Bernard the Bear. You got Pharaoh the plush doll, and you got the new gym bag, the Nike All Elite gym bag, which looks pretty sweet. They got the actual backpack on there. A lot of cool stuff on there, guys. ProWrestlingTees.com. They extended their sale for 20% off for one more day tonight. But by the time you listen to this podcast, the sale will probably be over, but they always have a lot of cool sales. So go check out ProWrestlingTees.com. So.
Yes. Can I just say, like, when I watched All In originally, I was not into huge of, like, Ring of Honor and New Japan, and I knew some of the names, but, like, watching it back today, the appreciation now that, like, I know a lot of these wrestlers now, and with them all being an All Elite, it's just...
Yeah, that's thanks also to being the Elite and, like, All Elite Wrestling, just... from this past couple of months, and then going back to watch this. So if you guys are in the same boat, go back and watch this. It's actually, it gives you, again, what she just said. It's a much better, you get a better appreciation for it. And this event was just so good from front to back, especially for their own first running pay-per-view. That's literally no writers writing this. This is all the characters allowing themselves to write themselves and go ahead with their creative control for their character, which, again, it works out. A lot of people criticize that, but you just see what AEW is doing now and how big they're growing. So we decided just to get this review out of the way. So
we were like, come on, Double or Nothing is coming, so let's get ready.
I'm sorry, that was what, on May 25th? That's
I think it's called Double or Nothing.
That's right. But yes, so basically this could be like a tease. This is like basically a tease of what you're going to get. Well, I mean, we're going to try to go even more in depth than we have today. Obviously, we're really tired from the weekend, but basically it's like a small tease of what you're going to get with the reviews in the future with this podcast, with All Elite Wrestling and all their pay-per-views and their shows. So we had 8 confirmed matches for All In. We opened up All In with MJF and
Matt Cross.
Matt Cross, sorry.
You're good. Don't worry.
This was a cool match. MJF playing he plays the heel character so nice. I love this guy. And I've only seen, I think, one of his matches. I went back and watched the match. I forget where it was from, but before this. So I didn't know too much about him. The Matt Cross guy, I remember, like, seeing him in, like, highlight videos and some people talking about him, but I never, like, went and sat there and watched his matches. From what I'm getting with the commentators in that show, they said that Matt Cross is a 20-year veteran. I guess he's been in the Indies for, like, 20 years. The guy looks pretty young for being in there 20 years. He must have been in the Indies really, really young when he first started. But he was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed this match. MJF playing to the crowd perfectly as the heel in this match. He was so good. You can see why. This shows you why AEW is so heavy on this guy and bringing him in. And he was one of the first people to be announced for this company. So this was this basically shows you what you're going to expect from MJF going into AEW if you didn't know about him before.
Yeah. See, I knew about him before because he did a lot of indies here in New York.
Okay.
So I have a great appreciation for him, and of course, I was in the crowd taunting the shit out of him. So I don't know, and he would yell back. So I talk about this all the time on the podcast. So he's a personal favorite of mine, even though he's an asshole, but he just plays like a perfect heel for me.
Okay. No, it's a good answer. But really good match. Strong finish from both these guys. And then we had Matt Cross hitting that sweet double rotation. What's a double rotation?
Lethal injection.
Lethal injection.
Yes.
Off the top rope for the win. I actually was shocked because when I totally forgot who won this match. Looking back at it tonight,
it was Matt. Yeah.
And then I did see this match back when it was first shown. I totally forgot who won this match, and I didn't want to look at any results before we watched it tonight, so I kind of just wanted to go in with an open mind. Totally forgot that MJF didn't win because in my head, while rewatching it tonight, I actually thought MJF was the one who was winning in this match. And all signs kind of point towards if you were watching this match, but Matt Cross pulling the victory here over MJF in this contest. And the one thing I want to pull out for All In, they didn't have a lot of backstage stuff throughout the show or a lot of promos. There was a lot of times where they kind of copied New Japan's in a way where it went from one match and it went directly into the next match. The screen came up with the match card, and then they moved right into the match. So that's why I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
I have an appreciation for that.
Especially when you got a lot of matches.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of matches, then you don't want to prolong it like WrestleMania. But you know, like sorry.
Anywho, so I'm gonna go right into the next match that quickly. Christopher Daniels facing off against Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell representing the Bullet Club in this one with his. You can see he has his own Bullet Club T-shirt with the green arrow mask. If you ever go to the shop, Christopher Daniels representing SCU.
Love SCU.
This was actually the first time I've heard about SCU was at this event. I had no idea about what they were about, and I totally forgot. I literally forgot about Christopher Daniels when I watched All In last year. But this was actually a really good match.
Jerry Lynn refed.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn was a special guest referee. I think a lot of people were trying to go into this match thinking what Stephen Amell could do in a ring, and I think he definitely showed like he's decent.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I nitpicked a little bit. Other than that, I thought he did pull his own weight a little bit. Obviously, Christopher Daniels had to carry most of the match, being a long veteran in the ring. Sweet ending, and then we got Christopher Daniels pulling off the victory over Stephen Amell. And that was that, I believe. I think something else happened in that match, and I forgot to write it down.
What was it? Amell went crashing through a table at one
that's
point.
Right.
Damn. I don't know. We were talking about this during the whole thing, and I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I got so much respect for all the people who take these hits and bumps and going through tables and putting their bodies through all of this stuff.
The crowd was really heavy into this match,
yeah.
too. They were really appreciative of Stephen Amell, what he brought to the table. So, and speaking of being really invested, the next match was really, really good. And you've heard me talk about this on the podcast if you guys are an avid listener here. Britt Baker versus Chelsea Green versus Tessa Blanchard versus Madison Rayne. Fatal 4-way match. It was like they named it something else. And it was like a 4-way showdown something, which was an oddly named, but we know what we meant. Fatal 4-way.
Right.
Obviously, Britt Baker signed with AEW. Chelsea Green is with NXT now. She wasn't at this point. A lot of people thought that she was going to be with AEW when they first announced, but it was soon after that she signed with NXT. Tessa Blanchard still with Impact Wrestling until late next year, and then Madison Rayne, I don't know.
Ring of Honor.
I don't even know if she's going anywhere. I don't even know if AEW is interested in her. To me, I thought she was the weaker one out of all four of them in this match, being that she's been in the ring for a while. I thought she would bring a better ring presence, and she didn't. Obviously, Tessa Blanchard was the one to stand out here. She's girl is so good. I can't wait. I really think they're looking at her and waiting for her to contract to be over.
Who wouldn't be looking at her? She's just phenomenal. Like,
and Chelsea Green, I love her character. I love her.
I love when she broke out with like the woo.
Yeah, she does
Zack Ryder.
She does the Zack Ryder signature move, the broski boot. Mm-hmm. And then Britt Baker, I love her character as well. It ties into her entrance mostly, but this was an unreal match. Unreal match. We're not cutting that out. I know it's a soft line. We're not cutting it out. We're not acting like this is live. We're not cutting shit out.
Okay.
But it was a fuck finish. There was a pinfall by Tessa, and it actually wasn't supposed to happen. You could tell. You could tell when there's a fuck finish, and it's the overall feel of the pin, and the referee looks ultra confused after it too. But Tessa Blanchard got the win. Not sure if she was originally supposed to win. I didn't really go into looking if that was the original plan. I imagine it probably would have been her, Chelsea Green, I think. But Tessa Blanchard picking up the win. But other than that finish, the whole match was amazing. They got like one standing ovation from the crowd, and that's pretty good for the women. So
I think it kind of like gave it away also that she was gonna win also with the fact that like she came out and then her dad was there.
Yeah.
So I felt like that kind of like gave it away as well.
Mm-hmm. Then we moved in. I was surprised that this match was so early. I totally forgot it was so early. To me, I probably would have made. I mean, looking at the card now, I mean, it's tough to fit it in somewhere, but I guess they had it in a decent spot. I guess I don't know. It worked out.
I think it worked out because they ran it. They ran all in, so you don't want it to all be your main event. So I think this is like a perfect spot.
Yeah. So Cody versus Nick Aldis for the NWA Championship. Man, the hype behind this match was insane. I remember even at the time, before all even happened, looking at all the hype over social media and stuff. It was huge. Like this was so meaningful to Cody as well, with the last year, or I think it was the year before, the passing of Dusty Rhodes, and how much the NWA title meant to their family and him and Dusty winning that championship and his legacy with it. This meant a lot to Cody. You can tell even in his entrance, like the guy, he was choked up, and the nerves were going right through his body.
And Brandy looked hot. Come on. Gorgeous.
Yeah, she did.
Hot.
So both of them had teams leading them out, so that's kind of like a MMA style. That was pretty cool. Cody's team featured DDP, Tommy Dreamer, Brandy Rhodes, Pharaoh, the skinny Pharaoh before he became fat. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, we were in New York, and we met up with Pharaoh in New York. So there's a Pharaoh meetup. And look at this, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, the YouTube version, Fat Pharaoh, we found him. PH, Fat Pharaoh. And
should have got him. Sorry. It was probably like $100 that I should have bought it for the podcast.
Maybe, hey, you live here. Maybe
I know. Maybe I'll have to go back into like Manhattan and go check it out.
But yeah, so Pharaoh was at this event, and then he was part of the team, and then also Glacier was also part of this team. All of his team consisted of Jeff Jarrett, Khosrow Davari, Samuel Shaw, and Tim Storm. So really interesting team for all this coming out there, especially the guy like Davari. I think that might have been an Impact thing. But this was actually a really good match. Really, really good match. A little bit of a slow start, but really good match. A lot of false finishes as well. And then Cody with that secured leg pin for the win. And then you could tell as soon as he was, like, even while the pin was happening, he knew it was coming. And then he just broke down, went face first to the mat, and couldn't believe it. The crowd went absolutely ape shit for this, especially in the beginning of the match. Before the match even started, they were like giving him a standing ovation. And this was just so awesome. So this was an unreal match. Good for Cody for winning that NWA championship, and it meant so much to him. And then the whole celebration in the ring and everything. The match was good too. We even had the run in by Davari and DDP giving the diamond cutter.
It was a little stiff though, but it was good.
This was good. So I was really impressed with this match. I don't know if you really had any more opinions about it.
No.
Other than Brandy's outfit. It was a good match.
Very good match.
But this is also, I asked you, how did Cody drop it? I remember, because I wanted to know how all this ended up getting it back, and I didn't remember.
Oh crap! I had to look it up.
Anyways, I had to ask it because this ties into my prediction of what's gonna happen at the end of the month. Because if you guys don't know, all this at the end of April is set to fight Marty Scurll on Ring of Honor for the NWA Championship, and this ties into my prediction of it's going to be Marty Scurll taking that championship over to Double or Nothing to face Cody at Double or Nothing, making it another huge NWA match, and then tying in the forgotten Marty Scurll into the Elite. So.
Okay, so former champion Nick Aldis regained the belt in the main event of last night's NWA 70th anniversary show, overcoming the American Nightmare in a 36-minute 2 out of 3 falls. Received widespread acclaim across the internet, despite the show's apparent production issues. So, yeah.
So, that's all I was wanted back.
Yes. So we were talking about this because we don't really we didn't really know too much about it. So we were like, who is holding this NWA title? Like, what company? Well, it's the NWA company, but
Billy Corgan.
Yeah. So we were like, again, back to your prediction that it's probably going to be dropped. It would be nice to see it be dropped to Marty, come to AEW, and stay in AEW for a while.
That'd be dope. That'd be cool.
So it could So I know you predict Marty and Cody going for this, a Double or Nothing. So who would win this match? Who would you pick to win this match? Would it go drop to Cody, or are you gonna stick with Marty?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
You got to think about this for our future episodes.
Prediction.
So yeah.
So we moved on from this match, and we had Adam Page versus
Joey Janela.
Hangman Adam Page.
It's funny because when we talked about watching this over again, all I could think about was the Cracker Barrel. And I was like, damn, what's the biscuits and gravy right now?
God. Yeah, so this match heavily featured Cracker Barrels. It was a Chicago street fight, being in Chicago. Lots of weapons being used, lots of crazy spots. I remember the ladder with the Cracker Barrel, the double tables,
the chair shot when he was off.
There was a
Page
lot
grabbed
of
a chair.
Yeah. Oof. Penelope Ford even made an impact in this match, getting involved. She had some cool looking bumps. And then eventually we had Adam Page pulling out a bag, and everyone wondered what the hell was in the bag. It was later revealed that they were the boots and the phone that were involved in the killing of Joey Ryan. So the boots that talked to Adam Page from being the Elite, and the phone that bludgeonly killed Joey Ryan back then in the being the Elite series. So that's how basically Hangman Page used to win the match. He kind of he choked with the wire with the phone, and off the ladder gave that freaking insane move right through the table. That was rough to look at.
Yeah.
And then Adam Page ends up getting the win. Then lights go out.
Oh my God.
And we get the resurrection of the
the penis.
The erection of Joey Ryan with the penis druids.
Oh God.
And Joey Ryan coming out and beating the crap out of Adam Page, and then the penis druids carrying Adam Page out, and then the crowd chanting "Rest in Penis." And
God, I don't even know. How do you take that in? If you never watched Joey Ryan before, I remember watching that for the first time when I first watched All In. I'm like, what?
That's why That's why I'm glad if it was the first time for someone watching the event, I'm glad the commentators made note of it and noted that it was in the Being the Elite series, and they kind of briefly showed it beforehand of Joey Ryan being dead, and the Boots talking to Hangman Page. So
Boots.
So that's a Boots. Yeah, the Boots.
A Boots.
Yeah. So we moved on to the ROH World Championship. Flip Gordon versus Jay Lethal, Macho Man Jay Lethal. We had the little spot backstage where he got slapped and handed glasses, and basically it turned out to be Macho Man's real life brother, and who escorted Jay Lethal to the ring as he was Macho Jay Lethal, and Brandy Rhodes escorted Flip Gordon to the ring in her, another tight outfit. But the Macho Man Jay Lethal coming out, and then he got slapped eventually in the match by Brandy, turning him back to Jay Lethal for a while, and then Macho Man's brother slapping him back. And this was actually a really good match. I enjoyed this. A lot of cool looking spots. Flip Gordon is insane. Guy is amazing in-ring talent. Definitely lives up to his name, Flip Gordon,
yes.
that's for sure.
He is the nicest guy you'll ever meet because I've definitely met him, and he's so sweet. Oh my God! And by the way, Black Machismo. So
Black Machismo.
There you go.
And so this was really cool. I really enjoyed this match. This was really, really well done. And if you guys are looking for a good wrestling match, I'd go back and watch this one for sure.
Yeah.
Then we had the interaction. So Jay Lethal won. He retained the World Heavyweight Championship. We had the whole thing with Bully Ray coming out after, and then Colt Cabana coming out.
Oh my God.
And then they powerbombed Bully Ray through a table.
But I love when we were laughing about it also when Flip was hulking up.
Yeah.
That was another part with it. Like.
That's right. So they painted and they did the whole the Mega Powers
trio
handshake.
Of punches
yeah.
and like a big boot. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the beginning they did the Mega Powers handshake. So that was pretty cool. So this was really entertaining and a good wrestling match at the same time. So this definitely helped boost up the card and boost up the rating, that's for sure. And what we got after that. And actually, I think that led into a storyline for a final battle.
Yes. Yes. I was there.
Yeah.
With, Flip Gordon and Bully Ray started that. And actually, we saw some of that going on at G1 the other day as well.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Definitely watch that as well. But
then we moved on. We had Kenny Omega versus Pentagon. This was an insane match. This was so good. But he wasn't called Pentagon. He was called, it's like Penta L0. But this was really cool.
Yeah.
Man, Kenny Omega is he's my favorite right now. Like if I'm not including WWE, he's probably my number one guy. He's an insane wrestler, and he's just so good. His in-ring work, his selling, like everything about Kenny Omega. That's why he's known as one of the best wrestlers in the world. Yes. You just gotta watch basically any Kenny Omega match, and you'll know what we're talking about. So he goes up against Pentagon, who at this time, and they mentioned in a commentary, he's a little bit greener than Kenny Omega, and he's definitely he had a slower build to the top than most because of how good he is. So it was really really cool to see these two guys go at it. They had an unreal match together. Again, a lot of false finishes, and then Kenny Omega ends up hitting the one-winged angel for the win. And the biggest part of the match would happen after the lights go out for an extraordinary amount of time.
I think a lot of people thought the power went out.
Yeah, and then they were talking about it on commentary. They were like, oh, well, it's a new show, and they're going to have its kinks.
Pay the bill.
Yeah. And then the lights come back on, Kenny's celebrating, and then Pentagon is on the mat, and he suddenly gets up and he starts attacking Cody, but people are not even just the commentators, the crowd is starting to notice and going nuts. They're like, okay, those are some different arm tattoos, and the one arm sleeve is not there anymore, so this is not Pentagon. And people are recognizing, the people in the front, are what tattoo that is, and there's only one person in the world that has a tattoo like that. And then after hitting the code breaker, he takes off his mask, and it is Chris Jericho jumping Kenny Omega, kicking the crap out of him, giving him 2 code breakers, grabbing the mic, and then saying, Kenny Omega, I'll see you on the Cruise of Jericho.
Ooh.
And then that led to their match on the Cruise of Jericho. So that was pretty cool. And that was actually the big thing that went around. I remember the Twitterverse when On was done. That was the big thing. Everyone was checking out, like, holy shit, Kenny Omega got jumped by Jericho. This was nuts. But not taking anything away from the match. The match was fantastic. Again, that's another match I'd make you go back and watch. If you're watching this for the first time, you have to watch that match. Really good wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to watch. Main event was good. Really short, I thought. I thought maybe the main event could have been a little bit longer. Maybe it was just me. I think, like, from what we got from all the other matches, I know it was on a limited time, the pay-per-view, and they didn't want to go over the limit. I don't think they could go over the limit without being cut off. So maybe that's why the match was a little bit. To me, it felt a little bit rushed. I don't know about you. I feel like they could have gone longer.
You're not talking about Okada and Skrull. That
No.
Skrull guy.
No, not that Skrull guy. No. I was talking about the main event, but
you forgot. How could you forget my man?
Hold up. I, out of goodness, my heart was leaving that for the main event for you to talk about. This wasn't the real main event, but just for that, I was leaving that for the main event for her.
Fine.
Okay.
We'll go back to Skrull.
For you guys that don't know, Marty Skrull is her number one. Kenny Omega's mine. Marty Skrull is hers.
All right. So go back to the Young Bucks.
So we're going to talk about the Young Bucks and Kota. So like I said, for it being the last match on the card.
It was shorter. It could have deserved definitely a lot more time.
Yeah.
This was an amazing match, and just I mean,
good.
like, I don't know, like, how long I would love to see them in the ring. I mean, yeah, it was short. I don't know, but it definitely needed more time. It was rushed, but it was. I love how Matt. I was telling Kyle this. I love how Matt sells everything with his mouth open.
He's good. The Young Bucks are really good. Like everyone in this match was nuts. So we had the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi versus Mysterio, Felix, and Bandito. Like this match was insane. Like I said though, it should have been longer. I wish it was longer, but again, I think it was a time constraint thing. But for what we got, it was really cool. Young Bucks ended up winning with the Meltzer 5-star driver, which is it's a really cool looking finishing move. But again, not without its lots of spots in this match, especially with Mysterio and Felix working so well together.
Yeah.
So this was a really good match as well. But in saying that, saving the best for last, Okada, the Rainmaker himself, went one-on-one with Whoop Whoop.
Oh my God.
Tiffany's boy, Marty Scurll. Really, really good match. Crowd was really into both entrances. I feel like both got.
Well, I love even the before with it when he was like before he came out to the
okay,
ring.
that's right. So they had a backstage
like a little
thing.
promo kind of going, like a Being the Elite kind of episode, and you know it's like Matt and Nick yelling at him, and then he's with the finger snaps. I was like going, like I was doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Colin actually witnessed me do it at G1. And I'm like, shh. Like I was going nuts. So, but. Yeah, this is where I fell in love with Marty Scurll. Was all in last year.
This was sweet.
This was exactly where I fell in love with him.
So like I said, both got a pretty good reaction from the crowd for both. Obviously, Okada gets a massive reaction every time he comes back to the States. He's really, really well liked over here, especially because we are G1. He got a massive ovation at G1. But not in saying that Marty didn't get one. He still had his. It was basically almost split. For both guys here, but this match was good, very, very good.
I was screaming for the chicken wing the entire time, like chicken wing.
A lot of crazy spots. I think this goes like one of the top matches of the night in my eyes, and really, really cool. I just enjoyed it. I really, really, really enjoyed the match. Again, lots of crazy spots, lots of false finishes, except Okada taking the win over your boy. Marty Scurll.
It's okay. It
was
a good
not
match.
That Marty Scurll didn't show up because he showed up and definitely gave Okada a run from his money because there was a lot of times near the end of the match where I thought Scurll was gonna win. I'm like, oh damn.
I love the umbrella. I've always loved when the umbrella comes out and he opens it all in. Yeah, I just like now I feel like I need to go buy the umbrella because why not?
That's what I kind of mentioned this when we were at G1 on Saturday to Tiff. I wonder, and I'm going to add to my prediction, I hope that they do something like where after he wins the NWA Championship from Aldis, he hasn't opened his umbrella yet, and then maybe as a special announcement, he opens it and it says Cody on it.
But I don't know if that's going to be like allowed to be like on TV though.
Or if it says CR or something, or there's like a message on it that points towards Cody.
Maybe. That'd be interesting. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it'll be like allowed, but it's kind of like, I don't know. Like not showing like the AEW, but something maybe like related to the Being the Elite that you would only pick up if you watch Being the Elite maybe or something. All right, that's a good prediction. Okay.
But this was a good match. Other than that, All In, amazing. That was the entire card there.
Oh, I'm
so good. If you guys haven't, go back and watch it. Like even if you have to pause it and watch it again later, just watch it. Or I'd say if you had to pick 3 matches to really watch for this one, obviously I'll put Marty Scurll and Okada in there.
The Young Bucks
match, and then I'd probably say Cody and Nick Aldis. Just get your feel. Cody Nick Aldis will be number 3. That would be a close tie with the.
I don't know. Match. Like I kind of, I know with like Cody and that, but I kind of like the Jay Lethal and Flip better. Yeah. To be honest with you, I feel like that was a better match.
It would be hard to pick a top 3.
Yeah.
You got to pick like a top 5.
Oh God, I don't know. It was all good.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, guys, please go back and watch it. But if you have seen it, that's basically our opinions and thoughts on it. I'd love to hear your super late better than never thoughts. Leave them down in the comments below on YouTube, or tweet at myself or Tiffany about what you guys thought for All In. Obviously, we weren't around at that time for this podcast, and we'd like to know what your reactions and thoughts that went on about All In. So leave them down in the comments below. We will like them or get at to any questions you want to leave us about it, or we'll just get at your thoughts when you leave them down below. And make sure you are hitting subscribe and hitting the bell icon for all upload updates when we dropping off random podcasts just like this on it, guys. And make sure you're following us at all our social media links. All links are down in the description below. Other than that, I think that is going to wrap it up. I think
we're good. I mean,
I thought you tapped me because I thought
no, I moved my hand.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were like,
it's weird. Like he's
something.
actually here. He's here. Like it's weird. Like I can't do that
something.
when he's in Canada. Like it's weird.
No.
Hi. Like.
Or maybe you could. Maybe I'm that good of a musician. I don't know. I thought maybe I forgot something.
No. I went to like.
Okay. Other than that, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this super late, better than ever review of All In. Thank you for tuning in. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on all our social media links, and we'll see you for the next episode of the All Elite Podcast.